Good day everyone, welcome to Football News. Arsenal are trying to sign Julian Alvarez, who has already said he wants Barcelona. England's World Cup hopes are already hanging by a thread, and Manchester United are about to drop £80 million on Mateus Fernandes. Let's get the news on the pitch. Bayern Munich are doing everything to keep Michael Olise at the club. Christian Falk reports that the club is planning to double the 24-year-old's wages in a deal that would tie him to Bayern Munich until 2031. It is now official, Gennaro Gattuso is the new manager for Lazio. According to Corriere dello Sport, the former Italian national team boss is stepping in to replace Maurizio Sarri immediately. Aston Villa are closing the door on any interested clubs for Morgan Rogers this summer. Sky Sports reports that the club has made it crystal clear to interested parties that they have zero intention of selling the 23-year-old midfielder. Como are rewarding their defensive anchor Ivan Smallchurch with a massive contract extension. According to Tuttosport, the 2000-born defender has committed his future to the club until June 2031. Aston Villa are eyeing a move for Jared Bowen. The Athletic reports that while Villa hold a strong interest in the 29-year-old West Ham winger, they likely need to offload current players before they can finance the deal. Real Madrid are monitoring Nico Schlotterbeck's situation at Dortmund very closely this summer. Mundo Deportivo claims the German centre-back has a specific release clause around €50 million that Madrid can trigger if they decide to move. He's top of their shortlist, but they are waiting to see how he recovers from his current injury before committing. Aston Villa are getting busy in the transfer market and are currently in talks with Flamengo for Emerson Royal. TalkSport reports the club is pushing hard to sign the 27-year-old Brazilian defender to strengthen their defense. Real Madrid have identified Chelsea's Enzo Fernandez as their number one midfield priority this summer. AS reports that Los Blancos are set to open formal negotiations with Chelsea to pry the 25-year-old Argentine away from Stamford Bridge. This would be a massive statement signing if they can convince the Blues to let him go. Huge news out of the Premier League: Ipswich Town have officially named Gary O'Neill as their new manager. Mundo Deportivo reports that O'Neill joins from French side Strasbourg to replace Kieran McKenna, who left for personal reasons. Cristiano Ronaldo has done it yet again and shattered another record. By netting 2 goals against Uzbekistan, he became the first player in history to score in 6 separate World Cup tournaments. Some positive news on the injury front for Galatasaray defender Wilfried Singo. Photomac reports that medical checks after his substitution against Germany confirm his injury isn't as serious as first feared. He's been cleared to rest and undergo treatment, and the Ivorian medical staff are optimistic about his recovery timeline. Newcastle are working hard to boost their attack and are currently in talks for Cologne winger Said El Mala and Lille forward Matias Fernandes Pardo. The Mail reports that the Magpies are willing to spend to bring in the strike for the upcoming season. Chelsea are set to ramp up their summer business with a move for Crystal Palace's Maxence Lacroix. TalkSport understands that the Blues are preparing to open talks for the 26-year-old as Palace look to balance their books. He could very well become the first official signing under new boss Xabi Alonso. FIFA are looking to shake up the World Cup with a major rule change for penalty shootouts. The Times reports that they want to switch to a single coin toss, where the winner chooses either who shoots first or which side the penalties are taken at. The goal is to make the process fairer and prevent teams from gaming the system. Manchester United and Arsenal are keeping a very close eye on Bournemouth midfielder Alex Scott. The Mail reports that both giants are tracking the 22-year-old, but a move won't come cheap. He's likely valued at around £60 million. Arsenal are pushing hard to secure one of England's brightest prospects, Leicester City's Jeremy Monga. The Athletic reports that direct talks are underway between the two clubs and things are moving in a very positive direction. The Gunners want to avoid an independent tribunal, so they're looking to get a deal done as quickly as possible. Football Italia reports that before Chelsea launched their massive €60 million swoop for Marco Palestra, they actually tried to sign Roma's Wesley first. They ended up doubling the player's wages to seal the deal for Palestra, showing just how desperate they were to land their man. Calciomercato reports that Roma needs to raise €50 million in profit, putting Manu Kona on the transfer list. Atletico Madrid are reportedly eyeing a deal worth around €45 million plus bonuses to snap him up. Ronaldinho is officially back on the pitch at 46 years old. Football Italia confirms that Serie C side Ravenna have signed the Brazilian legend as a player, not just for a promotional role. It's a shock return to Italian football for one of the greatest to ever do it. Manchester United are making massive moves toward a new 100,000 capacity stadium. BBC Sport reports that the club has purchased the critical 25-acre site near Old Trafford, connecting key roads behind the Stretford end, although they still need to navigate negotiations with existing leaseholders. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang could be heading for the exit at Marseille. According to Le 10 Sport, the 36-year-old is looking for a serious sporting project at the highest level, and interest is pouring in from Italy, Spain, Brazil, and even MLS. Leeds United are trying to pull off a free agent swoop for Fulham's Harry Wilson. Journalist Ben Jacobs reports that the club has held positive talks with the Welsh international, who is set to be out of contract at the end of June. Arsenal's pursuit of Julian Alvarez is very much alive, and fresh hope has arrived straight from the player himself. The Argentine superstar has made it clear he wants to leave Atletico Madrid this summer, publicly stating that a transfer is the best outcome for everyone. Barcelona remain his dream destination, but here's the catch: if that move doesn't materialize, Alvarez is open to joining Arsenal or PSG. Atletico have even discussed taking players in exchange, with Victor Gyökeres and young Ethan Nwaneri being mentioned. The question is, would Arsenal really sacrifice a cornerstone of their future to make this happen? Should Arsenal gamble their long-term plans on a player who openly prefers Barcelona, or is that the kind of ambition they've been missing for years? Thomas Tuchel has dismissed any talk of a World Cup wake-up call after England were held to a frustrating goalless draw against Ghana. Nico O'Reilly hit the crossbar in the dying minutes, Harry Kane blazed the rebound over, and Ghana even had a strong penalty shout waved away. Tuchel admits the performance wasn't pretty, with England possessing nearly 80% of the ball but struggling to break down a deep block. He insists there's no reason to panic, pointing out that England still top their group and can seal it with a win against Panama. This is now the fourth major tournament in a row where England have drawn their second match. Manchester United's confidence is growing by the day in their pursuit of West Ham midfielder Matheus Fernandes, despite Tottenham launching a ballsy bid to hijack the deal. The 21-year-old Portuguese star is the hottest property on the market after West Ham's relegation, with an £80 million price tag attached. Spurs have made serious progress on personal terms, but United hold two massive aces. The player's long-standing preference is to join his idol Bruno Fernandes at Old Trafford. 2. Champions League football is a major lure. An agreement with the player is said to be well advanced, and United are expected to launch a formal bid in the coming days.